I feel like I always say this when there's a poetry question. They're easy. You don't need to understand what's going on. That's like the whole point of a poem is there's multiple interpretations, but there's going to be something that is not up for interpretation that's just really obvious. And so don't worry about understanding every single little thing here. We're just kind of generally getting vibes and connotations and main ideas from what's repeated. That's the kind of thing that it's going to ask about. So when you see a poem, you know you don't need to understand the passage in a deep way in order to get the question right. So we specifically need to do the function of the underlined portion. In the poem, the speaker is on a path in an outdoor setting. A slight wind shakes the seed pods. Okay. My thoughts are spent. As the black seeds, my thoughts tear me. I dread their fever. I am scattered in its whirl. I am scattered like the hot shriveled seeds. So this seems bad, right? Connotations. This seems bad. And, specifically there are other words in here we should know. Dread. I am scattered. That sounds pretty bad. It's repeated. My thoughts are spent. Like, I don't know. I feel like those are common enough words that I kind of get what's going on here. This seems bad for this person. They're kind of maybe tired or something. Let's take a look at the choices. It illustrates a change in the natural environment that the speaker implies is responsible for the growing misgivings described in the text. Well, this sounds bad, right? So from a connotation perspective, a misgiving is kind of like a worry. I just don't know which misgivings are described in the text. We're worried about what, right? It doesn't say the person's worried about something happening. It seems like something's already happened bad to them, right? They're feeling scattered and spent. So I don't love that part, but it's certainly the right connotation. Let's look at B. It establishes an example of consistency in the natural landscape that the speaker then contrasts with the unpredictability of human emotions. Well, okay, human emotions being unpredictable seems bad, but consistency in the natural landscape seems good. But a slight wind shakes the seed pods. Is that really positive? If anything, it's setting up everything else that comes after it, right? Everything else is negative. So why would that be positive? There's got to be some strong evidence to suggest that that's positive. And the only thing I've got is there's also this other negative. In fact, the whole point is the person is comparing their own brain to the wind and the scattering of the seeds. The person is scattered. The seeds are scattered. That's not contrasting, right? Where's the word? Contrasting. That's saying that they're the same thing. So this is definitely wrong. C, it presents an observation of an occurrence in the natural world that the speaker then expands on to convey a sense of turbulent interior state. Well, certainly negative, right? And this is more suggesting that, okay, we're continuing an idea, right? Expanding on it, not contrasting, expanding. We're making sure we're continuing that. That seems reasonable. So it's definitely a negative, but it's also got this kind of analogy piece that I like. Let's look at D though. It evokes the ordinariness of an event in nature to suggest that the critical self-evaluation the speaker engages in is a common pursuit. Well, to me, common is a good example of one of those words that's like a sneaky quantifier, right? Is something, how do we know it's common? Do they say that it's common, that people are, I don't know, self-evaluating in a way that everyone does it? I don't know. We're just talking about one person, so that doesn't seem right. The ordinariness, that's a pretty strong word. It has a specific meaning. Is this ordinary? I don't know. I've certainly never felt this way. So this just feels like it's making a lot of assumptions, and I don't even know if it's negative or positive, but it's certainly got some words that scare me, especially considering that C just feels right. It's got the right words. Everything seems true. It is an observation of occurrence in the natural world, wind scattering seeds. Then the speaker's expanding on it. Yes, they're saying, my thoughts are spent as the black seeds. They're continuing a thought and a sense of turbulent interior state. I am scattered. That sounds pretty turbulent to me, right? So that seems good. And I did have this problem with A. I wouldn't really return to it. I like C better. So I'm able to answer this question. I know I'm talking about it for a long time, but I'm able to answer this in probably about a minute, maybe less, 45 seconds, because I'm not worried about some deeper meaning to the poem. If there's some deeper meaning I'm supposed to understand, the choice will kind of say it, and then I'm just really matching ideas, and there you go. It's easy to do.